You're thinking you're that girl that, gets chopped up and thrown in the dumpster somewhere, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's such a sad story." That's you. He got a little obsessive. Like, he was very obsessive, and he had an explosive temper, and he never did anything, but he would just like flip out, and I'd be like, it's not cool, bro. So I broke up with him, and I cut off like all communication with him and everything. So about 6 months after I broke up with him, I was in an apartment. I lived in an apartment with my son. He was 5 years old at the time. We live on our own, and I took him to the school bus, and on my way back, I see this man standing at the bottom of my steps in my house, and it was my ex-boyfriend, and he's like, I just need to talk to you, He's like, I'm having a bad time, and we need to talk. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I brought him in, we had breakfast, we're chatting, no big deal. It was time for me to go to work, and so I was like, I said, you need to leave, because I got to go to work. And he was like, you're not going anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, funny, I'm leaving. And he was like, no. And out of his backpack, he pulled a can of mace and a knife. And he was like, no, for real, like, you're not going anywhere. I tried to laugh it off, and just, it was crazy because it was real. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, is he kidding? Like, is this like an actual legit thing? And so I ran for the door. I tried to get past him, but he caught me at the door, and he sprayed me and, hit me in the head, and we kept on fighting until the knife blade was against my throat. So I quit fighting. He drug me back in the house, and then he zip tied my hands behind my back and zip tied my feet together, and he had gotten cut during the scuffle, and so he went into the bathroom to check it out. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm panicking, and I'm like, what do I do? And I was just praying. I'm like, God, you got to get me out of this. Like, I can't, I don't want to die. And you're thinking you're that person in all the news stories. You're thinking you're that girl that, gets chopped up and thrown in the dumpster somewhere, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's such a sad story." That's you. So I was just I was praying, and I was just like, God, you got to get me out of here. And I just felt in my heart that he was like, I'm not promising that you're going to get out of this, but I do promise that I will be with you through all of it. And that just gave me this peace. I just calmed down, and I was like, all right, like, steel myself